Hey, Attorney Veritimus, the buyer of gold, and wanted to talk a little bit about the Goldman Sachs fraud case or civil fraud case or allegations of fraud that were brought on them by the SEC today. And I guess the very first thing that I'd like to do is talk a little bit about what's the difference between a civil and criminal type litigation. And essentially, the difference is the notion of punishment. Now, in a criminal case, in a criminal litigation, there's the potential that the defendant can actually receive some sort of jail or prison time, and in the worst capital cases, even be executed. In a civil case, there is no jail time. A person is never executed. Rather, usually the punishment is reimbursement to the plaintiff. So that's the first thing. So what we're saying here is that nobody's going to go to jail here for this securities fraud by Goldman, which is kind of odd when you think about it. And the market really did make quite a big deal over that today. That there was this fraud case, and that's all anybody heard. And fraud, SEC, everybody got up in arms. The market dropped precipitously. The Goldman lost. Oh God! At one point it was down as much as 15%, and everything went down. Gold went down virtually across the board. If you look at market internals and the advanced decline line, decliners across the board, it was like almost 8-1 decliners versus advancers today. So this hit every aspect. They're talking about Goldman losing $10 billion. Try perhaps, $1 trillion in equity lost across the entire stock market. But that's okay. That's okay, as long as, whoever perpetrated this or whoever concocted this whole security fraud notion, I guess they got their point across, because the one thing that you have to, first of all, let's talk a little bit about what this actually was. Now, this has to do with John Paulson and his hedge fund, and as a consultant, along with a VP of his fund, Fabrice Torre, where they were working with Goldman to help structure mortgage security products. Okay? So that wasn't really the problem. The problem was that at the same time, Paulson and Torre are shorting the mortgage market. Now, that wasn't the problem either. The problem was that Goldman did not declare Paulson's involvement. And so by not having that declaration, that disclosure, that is essentially the problem, that there's a lack of transparency of how these mortgage security products were brought together. Okay, so I understand all that. That's a no-no. You must have disclosure. It happened 2 years ago. Why wasn't this a deal back then when we were going through all this mess? Why right now? Right? That's what you got to wonder. Why today? Not just right in this general area of time, but why today? Well, the timing is very interesting. Right now, President Obama is pressuring Congress to pass his sweeping financial regulation, where they're going to put the screws to all those evil banks and financial institutions. I say that with tongue in cheek. It's also, they're picking on Goldman. Goldman is their darling. We all know that most of former, Goldman leaders are in the Obama administration right now and in the Fed. So why Goldman? Well, because they can take it. And basically, they'll take a shot in the arm, right? The Obama administration gets to demonize Wall Street, the evil capitalists, and Goldman can act as the fall guy. And yeah, stocks go down temporarily, but they'll be back. They'll be back up next week. No problem. And in the meantime, the Obama administration has essentially gotten free advertisement of every major media around the world, where everybody in the United States knows all they hear is security fraud, Wall Street, Goldman Sachs. They've got to go down. The Obama administration has to pass this financial regulation to save us all from those evil capitalists. So that's really what, in my view, is what it's all about. It was all a big dog and pony show. Dog and pony, pony and dog, raining cats and dogs, whatever other cliche you'd like to use. It's all bullshit, is what it is. Goldman is going to be right back to what they were doing before. The stocks are going to go up. Oh, I personally think that our thought that this was a great buying opportunity. As a matter of fact, I piled into Citigroup and GLD and SLV. Fortunately, on Wednesday, I divested my Goldman shares. Actually, I divested half. I had a position in Goldman and had a stop loss set at 180, so I got out of it. So I felt pretty good, and I got back into gold and silver at a really great price, and I got in at an awesome price on Citigroup because I know that Citigroup next week they're going to be reporting and they're going to do okay. Goldman is on fire, so all's good, right? The message got out. We demonized Wall Street. We're going to get that financial regulation bill passed and put the screws to those evil capitalists. And then next week, everything's going to be right back where we started. And we're all going to be making money and we're all going to be happy as pigs in shit. Great. Thank you very much.